class about worms. How are we on worms?
I like worms.
Baby steps. We like, everybody like worms?
Yes. Wait, what type of worm? Like just a regular earthworm?
Just regular earthworm, what you guys would be digging outside and get to. Okay. This is fantastic. Wonderful baby stuff for the whole world. We all like worms. We can all handle worms. Okay, so, can your children all handle worms? Okay. We don't know. Well, that's all right. We're going to find out. So, we go outside.
What's that?
We have tools. I don't dig as a teacher. That's not my job. That's your job, child. Get to digging. Dig me up some worms. Let's go. Let's explore the worms. So then, does anybody have your pretzel jar, your animal cracker jar that's roundish, not the one with the face? You don't want the face. Do we all have this jar? Some sort of large, clearish jar. It can be glass, it can be plastic. We're going to take this large, clearish jar. We might put some gravel on the bottom if we want to be fancy, or some rocks that we find. Then we're going to have the children start putting dirt inside. We're going to fill this with dirt. We're going to give a little bit of space up here at the top. We're going to put, we're going to put some worms inside. We're going to have a worm farm. So you put your little worm friends inside. There's Laura, there's Fred, and then we're going to put some leaves there. And the worms really, 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 it's like the favorite snack of the worm is banana peels. So we're going to have some bananas in class, and then we're going to take our peels and we're going to cut them up, little worm treats. So we're going to put those little banana peels underneath our little leaves, and then over the top of this whole thing, we're going to put pantyhose. And we're going to put a rubber band. We don't put the pantyhose because the worms are going to escape. The worms aren't going anywhere. They like the dirt. They're happy. You've got some space here between the jar, top of the jar, and where your dirt and all that is. The pantyhose are here to keep Jerry from sticking his hands in there in the middle of the class and ripping the worms out and coming up behind you and scaring the bejesus out of you. That's why the pantyhose are here. Around this whole thing, we're going to have black paper. Now the worm is underground. The worm is happy. We bring them inside. This is our class pet, Laura and Fred. Every day, we're having a meeting. We can open up and see how Laura and Fred are doing. So you take this little piece of paper off, and you're going to start seeing Laura and Fred's trails that they're making in the dirt. Baby steps. Appreciate the trails. Draw the trails. Love the trails. Oh, you just saw Fred. Look at how Fred moved when we took that paper off and how he's going back in. Why do you think he's doing that? And you have all these wonderful conversations. Who needs the worms? Anybody? Who needs the worms? Plants. Plants need the worms. Birds need the worms. We didn't put plants on our ew list. Is everybody okay with plants?
Not poison ivy.
Okay. But flowers, regular old flowers, do you plant regular old flowers with your children? Okay, so do you do pots or do you do straight in the ground?
Both.
Okay, so if you have pots and you guys are digging out worms, then you can put some of the worms in those pots because that's really good for the plants. And then you can give them the banana chunkies out there. And if you do cooking in your classrooms or if you guys make your own food at school and you've got some eggshells, those are great too. And have the kids break those up and you put those in there and the worms are just in heaven. And they're just having a great time in there, and it's lovely for everybody. So now we've got baby steps.